Hello everyone and welcome to tonight's episode of Blood and Sand. That threw me off more than I thought it would. And it was silent as well. It was irritating. Welcome back. It's been a while. We may be a little bit more consistent whilst the stipulations of weekend work schedules are as they are. So, where we last left off, we had our party continuing a battle they were already having from the last session. I tend to do that with our battles. I really need to slow down.
A few moments later.
6 seconds later. Fire.
Oh god, everything's dying.
So how many things do you do this time?
Oh god, the echo is on with Tiny Chat. Have you muted your mic, hun?
Clearly not. I have everything muted on my end, which is why I never hear anything. I have both sound and mic.
I think so.
Once you
There we go.
do that, you're fine.
We're good.
So, they discerned that the shackles, which had been used on the several individuals on the enemy side and were also placed upon Shimmer, are able to dominate the person and make them obey the last command they were given if the person who gave the command deceased. They also had 3 friends run in to help save the day: Althir, Jonathan, and Mugmug. Because, well, you did leave them behind, and they were like, Helga! But they are, for lack of a better term, exhausted. Because they had to charge you guys without any rest, so they definitely are tired after the trips. You guys went into the inn, discussed the nature of many of the issues occurring with the surrounding wildlife and landscape, that there was indeed an essence of demonic corruption, and inquired as to how you may perhaps beat it, how you may work around it, and you found out there was orders of blood hunters whom Althir knew from long ago in Black Marsh. Damn, that's a while back.
That's such a long time ago.
3 years? Close to.
Who even knows at this point?
Yeah. And now we come into this session. You're all sat around eating, resting, talking. You learned with Grunt that there were... Well, you learned from individuals around that orcs and humans were still having their civil essential war over this entire region. That you pondered the idea as a new war chief had apparently rose to rally tribes that would never work together besides. What would your ways of resolving that be? And Grunt told you of, before going out to sleep in the shack, many orcs that she knew from the arena that might be of some use to you. So those bits of information I believe were the last things that were discussed. And is at that point, I ask you, what would you like to do?
Long rest, please. I'm in single digits.
So I dropped the black dragon here, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you said long rest last time because my hit points say max. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I presumed you guys would eventually go to rest.
Because I was not on max hit points during the fight.
No, you were not.
That was a brutal fight.
It was good, challenging. We still won.
Fun.
We feel even better.
And you basically had a fucking brutal kill on a stone giant.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was it. I dropped down from above.
On a
Not so
giant.
much from above, more from its side. You jumped at it.
I mean, semantics.
When he tells the story, he'll say it was from above.
From a 10-foot wall.
Yep. Semantics.
So you've
Just
all
this rains from
began
above.
to... And it's not that impressive. Just this rains from 70 feet in the air and breaks several ribs.
Never forget.
Never forget.
Never gonna forget.
Nope.
You ain't getting away. We ain't getting away from that.
Right.
Your time will come, Del. Your time will come.
My time's been and happened, mate. You weren't there.
No, you will spectacularly fail at some point in this campaign at
Right.
something you try to do.
I did.
I will
You
be there
weren't.
to
She
berate
did.
you to the
I
ground.
did. You weren't there.
Yeah.
She did. She got porcupined by a fucking trap. Remember Humblebottom's trap
he
behind the
doesn't.
portrait in his room? He went into his office. She tried to open the trap. Didn't work. Poison darts in the face.
I mean, that was. I mean, yeah, it was a fail, but it wasn't like a cataclysmic fail. It wasn't like you lose your head. You know, that's a cataclysmic fail.
I mean, by that standard, yours wasn't a cataclysmic fail. Didn't
I
even.
basically died. Like,
You-
more or less.
Don't use the D word with me.
Don't casually use the D word in
I've-
D&D.
I mean-
I've gotten the taste for blood in one campaign. I'll come for you in this one.
It was like half your HP.
No, it was not. It was quite considerably most of it.
Semantics.
As you both have this weird conversation about hit points that no one understands.
Where are we going?
I can't remember where we agreed on last time.
I can't remember either. Are we staying here to
Stay
head
around.
or...
Y'all motherfuckers take notes in the future. And not Blue, she takes enough for enough sessions.
I'm terrible.
So
at
many-
We decided
so
to go
many
to the arena in
notebooks.
the end.
I think we agreed that we were going to go to this town, weren't we?
Yeah, I think we came to that conclusion. No, did we say that we were gonna message
We already did that.
Sildar, or has that been done?
Sildar?
I remember there's a dragon that just showed up.
Blue, think what you just said.
God damn it! I am in 7 campaigns!
I was going to say, wasn't it Scylla?
Scylla?
Yeah.
Very similar,
Scylla.
yeah. Were we gonna message Scylla to help fortify this place?
Yeah, we were going to turn this place into a fort, weren't we?
Yeah.
You're looking at how much it would cost, how much money you guys have currently and recently found, and the pricing of it would pretty much take what you found recently to fortify this place, I believe. Somewhere in the 5-digit number?
It was pretty big, but we thought that with the assistance of magic we might be able to cut down the time and some of the funds, which is why we were going to message Scylla. Because he could help lay down, a foundation in the ground. Through druidic means.
If Nerwin was here, he could just go create and it'd be cool.
Yeah, he was going to fabricate the walls, wasn't he?
Something like that.
Trying to think, because we had several different options that we eventually did decide on one, but I'm forgetting now which one we actually did decide
I feel
on.
like we were going to send him a message so that he could come here and help, and then we were going to continue on to Distone. I think.
We weren't going in covert, were we?
I think we decided against it because they would probably know.
To fortify this place into a fort or outpost would take 100 days and 15,000 gold.
That's a lot.
Yep.
Hmm.
And that's the lowest tier of a fortification. Like, you can make trading posts in guild halls or towns or cities. Might have been try to upgrade it to a town or maybe like fortify its walls perhaps.
Yeah, it wasn't like full-scale fort. We were just trying to protect it a bit.
I'll say if you wanted to upgrade this place's, because it's a small village, if you wanted to upgrade its walls and its like defensive structure to that of a town, instead of making like say, because I'd imagine it would go say from small village, town to fort. If you wanted to just give it walls that were more respective of a city, it would cost about like maybe a little bit less and take less time, but it would still take time and effort.
Yeah,
Hmm.
So it might be.
neither of which we
Probably
can really
say-
provide ourselves.
Yeah. Probably would end up being the $5,000, but maybe with magical aid it would be less than the 60 days to give it the defensive walls to build it up like a city.
We could also do with some sort of lock. For the water entrance.
Ah, right.
So we don't just get stuff pulling up at the dock.
The dock is just a tiny lake. When I say
Like-
tiny, it's about 100 meters across, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just like a fishing lake.
Yeah, it's basically just a small fishing lake.
Ah, okay. There's no external entrance to like the ocean or the sea or anything.
No, no,
we're
no.
very
This
inland
is
okay.
here.
this
Oh, that's
is
fine then.
basically their lifeline for water.
Fair enough then. Okay. Well, don't need to worry about that then. That's fine. Yeah, I think we need to. We need somewhere to fall back to. We can't keep trying to fall back to Duskhaven because we're just going to attract too much unwanted attention. So, fortify this place. Get Scylla up here. Potentially move some of like maybe the Minotaurs and Centaurs. Call in a favour.
Are you
Yeah.
guys? Where are you having this discussion, by the way?
Probably in the tavern or something in the morning.
Seems reasonable because we're not in our main place with the guild hall. So yeah, I suppose the
I'd
Tavern.
say, yeah, you're probably one of the first few people down then having this discussion. And as you're having this discussion, you're still haggard, your heads were still slightly ringing and dizzy from the events. So as you're having this and you begin like collecting yourselves, you failed to recognize the fact that there's a very, very tall man sat down in a chair by the bar with his feet up in full plate armor with golden and red designs as Aeon Sul, I did say, had arrived
Hey! I
tonight.
remember
Yeah,
the
that
guy,
was-
Eli, who
yes.
arrived last night.
because we were going to message him as well, but he
Yeah, we heard him
Yeah.
arrive.
He'd
and we
already
all
been-
just sort of went, thank God, and then went to bed.
The sending spell was sent by Nerwin during the day, so a dragon going as fast as it fucking wants can get wherever it needs to pretty quick. Like, this is a 3-day travel on foot, 3 or 4 day travel on foot for him.
He'll be there in no time. Hey, buddy!
You're looking at him as well, and he's not. It seems like he's definitely gone away from his father's ideal of hiding his origins. The design, not even on just armor and coloration, but even say a jawline, say down the cheekbone, there's the hint of like almost protrusion of bone or like design of scale down, and around the knuckles and everything else there are. Definitely taking a more intimidating, well, trying to. He thinks he's being cool.
Oh,
He's
he's
going
in
through
that
that phase.
stage of life.
He's figuring out what his style is. He'll probably get to something eventually.
Aesthetic.
he thinks the mullet's cool.
Not even he thinks the muzzle.
Nope.
He knows better. He pulls himself up and walks over. So, that massive pile of carnage that was heaped up outside last night, I take it that was your all doing.
I know,
Why'd
it
you
just
say
sort of
that?
it just sort of happens around us.
Yeah,
Can't-
it tends to,
Can't
yeah.
imagine why.
We're all such wonderful people, I can't imagine.
I know, we have such great personalities.
I'm gonna fill him in on the plans we've got to fortify the place.
What are you talking about? I have a great personality.
He says as he pokes his head out of the kitchen with the chef's hat on and probably just the apron.
Still not talking to you.
I'm that naked dude from Food Wars.
Don't know.
I was gonna say you might have to be more specific. But anyway,
There's a guy in Food Wars that basically every time you see him, he's wearing just an apron, nothing else.
only difference is you are built.
Well, that guy was pretty built too, to be honest.
You're like Archon the Cruel levels of muscle, man. So, as you're talking, you explain out the situation, your strategies, what you believe might occur between people eventually coming to find out what happened to the individual whom you all gutted, all these stuff. He's basically listening to you, but simultaneously you're talking to him, and you know him well enough to tell that. Give me an insight check. Let's see about what. I can
Wait,
be
what?
everything. You, Alistair, as you're talking
Ooh.
to him, you're the person who is focused on him.
Well, you should be proficient in insight. Used to.
Not anymore.
I'm still a friggin' baller.
Jeez.
Rolled 13.
We're inside, right?
Yeah.
You guys are inside, yes. You're all down inside in the tavern, essentially on the ground floor. You're some of the first people up.
So we don't need an inside check.
We're in there. Hey!
It took Spook a second.
Yeah, it did take me a second there. I was like, hang on.
This is-
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Wait. You can tell that whilst he's listening to you, it's almost like your background noise to him as he's listening to something else. Like he is hearing you, he's comprehending what you're saying, but it's like he's having a different, like he's listening to something else simultaneously. Not from around you. There isn't really anyone around that he could be listening to, but he just seems to be like he's trying to spread his attention to multiple places.
I look around me. Obviously.
He puts his thumb up to his forehead and just runs it up, and where there would be side hair, just for that moment, the hair goes, it goes to scales, then back to hair as it goes up in that change, and a little bit of a blue shimmer tips off the top of a scale into his a nail to scale on his temple. I'm still trying to get the grasps of this. Getting older kind of means you have to... You hear more than you should. You have to try and ignore or factor out things.
Oh no, tell me about it. We had that problem with Nazda.
Yep.
Just picture Nazdo, except there's multiple Nazdos all trying to tune it at the same time. And thankfully, not all of them are trying to hang off my leg. Where is he?
Went back with his guild, I think.
I believe he set sail. That was a long time ago.
Ain't heard from him. To be fair, I don't blame him.
Probably see him at the top of a pile of corpses or something at some point.
I'm not sure if he knows how to write postcards.
Way to look on
True.
the bright side.
Well, if we go back home and we find it's a keg sitting there, we know he's all right.
No, I more meant that he'd be sitting on top of a pile of corpses.
Ah,
Probably not even been hit by a single scratch. No.
Well, when he fought that giant, that was quite impressive to watch.
Nazda the Giant Slayer.
Yeah, I heard about that. It was basically like a ping pong thing.
Yeah, it was like watching someone trying to hammer a peg into the ground.
So he's... Okay. You want to fortify this place up to be able to withstand any attention from Destun. No, that's a good idea. That is. I'll request a message be sent to Merok. See if I can get any funds out of my father's hoard. We'll use resources, and contacting Scylla would probably be a good idea because we can do a lot of the heaviest labor parts, which is just going to be material transportation and even material just like embedding it into the grounds. Yeah, he could definitely help out with that. That's a good idea. And he actually likes you guys, so it'll probably work. I'm ignoring the cat.
So am I.
You're not doing as good a job.
to be fair, the cat's ignoring you.
Don't sit on that, I need it. Carry
If
on.
he fits, he sits.
Sitting on my player's handbook.
I'm a sorcerer.
I need that. It's got all my rogue bullshit on it.
Past the wall, the gate essentially that keeps back most of the orcs, which is now more of a defensive fortification for them, if anything. The thing is, a lot of Grumish's offspring tend to be very backstabby. They aren't afraid to "you're no longer of use, no need to keep you" sort of mentality. So whilst it would be an idea to get that brute strength, the notion of at least having somewhat of a able to point the finger situation with humans if they run ramshack on us will be better. And if we can get in contact with that city, I'll probably send someone. I might even send Pitwiz a word. Might send her up there. I need to just get an eye on that spot. At this point, whatever we're not currently investigating, I need to keep my ears on them. So I'm gonna see who I can recruit that can aid me in that.
Okay, well, let's gather up the party and let's get ready to roll out.
Yeah, I guess we're continuing on our way.
So, your plan with the stone, are you just walking in the door?
We haven't thought of anything better.
I don't know if we'd be able to necessarily get in there without being noticed. I think they're aware of, at the very least, Grunt, but I'm pretty sure that they are aware of us by now.
They're
Don't
probably
have much
very
in the way of
aware of
disguise.
Grunt.
The only other thing I could think of is to go by night and try scaling the outer walls, but I mean, that's not. I don't know how good that's going to be. I mean, do I remember from the last time that I was there, was the walls of the city touching a forest by any chance?
Unfortunately not, no, the forest was about 2 or 3 miles out from it, but what you do remember from the walls was they had spikes across them, and there were people who had to have a lesson taught to them on the walls in several degrees of impalement.
Yeah, I do remember that.
I don't, but that's interesting. Perhaps we could get in via nightfall. I'm pretty sure if we try and waltz in, there will be a fight at the entrance and there will be reinforcements. But...
Buckley, what do you think?
Buckley, he's here.
Sort of.
Don't think he's fully on yet. Is he awake? Is it risen?
Buckley, what do you think?
Yeah, no, my bad.
Told you we should just start, lads.
Share with us your opinion, please.
I'm with Buckley on this one.
Buckley
What?
has been battered around by a giant the other day. He was somewhat still catatonic on the table. He didn't really go up to sleep. He just slept where he lay from alcohol inducement last night.
Your opinion
So,
interests me.
Buckley, you're waking up to see Aeon Soul having a full-blown discussion with Alistair and Delmara, with Shimmer, someone in the background wearing nothing but an apron and a chef's hat.
He's a shining beacon of morning. Okay. This is fine.
This is fine.
I'm cooking breakfast.
Don't have the sausages.
I haven't had any complaints about my sausage yet.
I'm now egging more towards the nightfall.
I suppose that's a possibility if we do want to attempt to enter in subtly.
You're watching as Aeon Soul's thinking, and he's basically kind of just like silenced you all out in his head, and he's just thinking, and you can tell his cogs going. We have an idea with fortifying this place with Scylla. And I know full well, my father's tried to before, that city has a dragon orb.
Figured.
He's tried before, and nearly got taken out of the sky.
I remember the story.
So, I'm essentially useless in that situation until that orb is acquired.
Well,
But
acquired one.
you'd probably be able to acquire another. And we could use Scylla, have Scylla help us build here. But Scylla hates that place.
Well,
If
we
you
all
were to have
hate it.
No, you will have a hatred of it by comprehension. it's literally a middle finger to him, that city. It is in every way, it's everything he hates. It's slavery, it's oppression of nature, it's torture. He does not like them, especially because their own organizations were responsible for him being trapped with a green dragon.
Yeah.
So, if I were you, I wouldn't go for the city. I'd go to Scylla yourselves. If the wily... I think Merrick can pull things out of his ass. You have not seen what Scylla can do. Merrick might be able to blow a hole in the wall, but Scylla can make the whole thing fall.
Maybe we should go and see his opinion then.
Yeah, maybe we should go speak to him.
And, Alistair, and he takes out a small stone that looks like it has a person's face on it and hands it to you.
Oh, is it one of them stones with the face of Jesus on?
Do you take the stone from him?
Yeah.
As you do, he just has another one in his hand. He holds it. He doesn't open his mouth, and you just hear in your head, "No, this is a stone that no matter how far away you are from me, so long as you're on this plane of existence, you tell me you have that stone, and I will come calling. Once you get that dragon orb, this is your cue to get me to get for that city. It might take me a minute to get there."
It's a BFF stone.
I mean, they do go together, but...
Shimmer, would you like this stone instead?
That's the same face Carol
Sure.
made when she got one.
Never mind, I'll let you have it, Alistair.
This may change hands as as a fight will inevitably break out in that room. We may end up chucking it around.
So long as one person sends, you can only use once a day, but so long as one person says, "We have the orb, you're good to go," I will enthusiastically make my way, probably with a very angry samurai on my back.
Would it be bad if I used it every day to phone you and see how you're doing?
He was
I'm gonna take
drinking
that.
something, and he just stopped and paused.
I'm gonna take that as a yes. Okay. Let's get everything together then.
Are you sure you don't want me to have the stone?
Too late now,
I'm
he's got
having
it.
second thoughts.
I wake up and
Darkwood,
sweat.
Mark down, Alistair Dartwood, mark down that you have a sending stone paired to a uncill.
You turn the Bluetooth on.
Titty sprinkles. What? What?
I'm just
Good
going to spell that
morning.
out phonetically.
What are we doing?
We're leaving. Wake up.
Yes. Is there any provisions that we want to get? Because I'm noticing I don't have a lot of potions in my bag.
I mean, I don't either. So, if we
Yeah,
can find
we
any,
could
that might
use
be
some of those.
useful.
Mr. Berkeley,
Yes.
would you like to go to the shop and see if you can procure some from our orc friend, whose name I totally remember?
Oh, I hand him a plate and tell him to sit.
Berg.
We're such a dick bag
It's
party.
been a long time. You kidding me? We played in one of Stanley's campaigns today, and even he didn't know what his characters were called.
Oh yeah,
we
sure.
never
I need
remember anybody.
Clearly, I need to make more interesting characters.
No, we forget some of our own names, so it's fine.
Okay, so you guys are going to proceed to the shop.
Yep, I don't think there's
Yeah.
anything else I really need. I have a fair amount of stuff in my bag already. Like a potion of antitoxin, potion of invisibility. Why do I still have Cloak of the Alpha in there? That's gone.
That's now with Mugmug, and he
Yeah.
can summon wolves.
No,
Not
that's
Mugmug,
with
Jonathan.
John. Let me delete it. Thank you.
I already know
Come on.
exactly what I need.
A drink.
Lots of potions.
Yeah, I've got
And
drow poison. I've got the shackles of domination in the bag of holding as well.
hmm
I got the big gem.
when you were speaking about the shackles as well, you could see Ansel got very uneasy.
Yeah, they're not very nice.
I'm kind of oblivious to that kind of stuff.
I am not. I have amazing perception.
I have a net trap. I've got some wire traps in here. I got my old equipment. Bear traps.
Can I have one of those sets of shackles?
Sure. Mark that down to 3. I've also got Crumble's armor in here.
You definitely don't, because I'm wearing it.
Oh, okay, I'll have to take that out then.
Glad you're doing inventory
Don't-
management.
Damara says she pokes her head out of the bag of holding. You pull
Oh,
out the
yeah.
armor, it's her by shoulder.
You need to clear this thing out. It's really dirty in here.
I was just making sure that we're not going over the weight limit. The weight limit's 250, isn't it?
We do have a shopping bag of holding now.
I know we've got
It's
another
already
one.
filled with 100 pounds worth of items
Oh, yeah.
because it's got 500 gold worth of
5,000 gold.
well, 5,000 gold. Yeah, 'cause it's
Yeah.
500 for 30 gold.
500 pounds.
Oh,
That's how much
£500.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's how much the bag can
Okay,
hold.
we haven't even reached the halfway point then yet. That's fine.
That's good.
That fills me with confidence.
It's the other one which is teeny tiny. It can only hold
Yeah.
100.
Good. And I have only do 100.
It's basically a large money pouch.
I'm going to put that holds 500 pounds.
Ansel takes the shackles off of you and looks over them for wrapping them together and just putting them up a sleeve, and they just almost like they're entirely weightless and gone. Very careful with these kind of things. Wouldn't be keen on seeing any of you use stuff like this.
I
I'm
hadn't
not-
actually
I'm not
pictured
a
using
fan
them in
either.
combat.
As the cups are passed, I kind of like visibly take a step back from them.
Ooh. Actually, better thought them. If we're not going to use them, I don't really want to take them with us just in case something really bizarre happens and they end up finding their way into their hands.
Yeah, honestly, I would rather not have them with us.
I'll take them off you then.
Okay, I shall just delete that altogether from my inventory.
He takes all these sets of shackles
So
away.
there were 4 in total.
Yeah, he takes them all from you and keeps them with himself.
Yeah. In which
These
case,
things
I'll
are. There are very powerful spells that can be used to entirely not even dominate a person, but enthrall them. These shackles have some sort of imbuement like that. So, at the very least, these are very expensive. Merrick's gonna love breaking them.
yeah. I take off, because we've worked out like we had the six keys for the 6 cages. I take off the keys that match up with the shackles, keeping the two mystery keys in case they're useful for us.
Which he takes off of you as well. Oh, you all are just very giving today. Giving.
Some stuff
I'm
is
gonna go
just
to the
not
shop.
worth keeping.
Yeah, well, now everyone goes to the shop to procure some potions. I'm just going to go grab myself a drink. 2 seconds.
Actually, I only have 354 gold.
And a bag that has 5 grand. in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
no, I've only got this pocket change. What am I gonna do? That's your bank
Yeah,
card I
I
can
was
see.
like,
What am I
oh,
gonna do?
ooh,
All this money burning a hole in my pocket.
Ali, can you lend me a $5? I seem to have left my wallet in my other monk cleric gear. Bye.
When did Simon get here?
I just like that we got to saw his best part for a few seconds there.
Oh
He's showing
my.
off his butt to screen. Coxcom was great because he got so salty, but everyone knew the truth. His butt's his best personality feature.
Oh, I got so defensive about it.
No,
He is a
don't
bit of
shake
an
your head at me. You've not seen it.
you are the weirdest.
Nope, everybody agreed, Naren.
Literally straight people
It was
agree. Not even my gay ass.
It was universal approval.
Really, really.
Stop talking.
But he really hates us talking about it.
Neat. So I heard you have a nice ass.
Gallop here.
Hey, Spook.
Yep.
We need you to stand up and turn around for a second.
Is that a no?
I think it's a no.
I think that's a
That
no.
was like, I hate you all.
The best part was he had a moment where he was about to do it that he thought.
Anyway,
Moving on.
You all present the equipment to Aeon Soul, and well, may as well give you guys something. I've one or two things that I have that I don't need, so I may as well give them to you. And he puts over 2 vials, which are 2 superior healing potions.
That's helpful. More potions doesn't hurt.
Indeed. And as Buckley's about to get up, he puts his hand on Buckley's shoulder to sit him back down and motions you all to sit in close.
Honey.
I'm glad he did it. I knew it was coming.
shit. I
This
just
is really
knocked
hard
my...
to do on my desk because my camera's so far back.
There we go.
Oh, that's hurting.
It's okay. You're all idiots.
You have beautiful eyes.
That's why you love me.
Alistair just did that in everybody's face.
Listen. You might remember Lotoff. He was the boisterous ruler of the town. He, if I remember your stories right, had choice words for you. He's
Yeah.
not the real ruler of the town. He's just a figurehead.
I've got a few choice words for him as well.
Well, he's not everything he seems to be, to what I understand. So, don't think he's just a hits that you can walk over. There's guesses about what his last name is, but I'm not factoring that in. Besides that, it was told me a story about the town where somebody had tried to jump into one of a royal carriage and carriage of a ruler or something to try and rob it, and they were immediately turned to what she either thought was stone or ice, and then they shattered on the ground.
Yeah, I remember that story as well.
Yeah, that's the real ruler. And that's someone that's been lost to us for a long time. That's a very dangerous person. That's a very vicious person. That's someone who... And I want inside checks from the entire party as he's speaking.
Okay.
Check, sorry.
Insight.
Oh, insight. Yeah.
No from Buckley. Delmar's the only one who succeeded.
I am definitely inside. I don't know anything else, though.
Sight.
Delmara,
sight. Yes.
would you like to come down to Dean Whispers?
Bye, everyone. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, everybody on stream. We get to have our own little private conversation. How's it going?
I was gonna move my camera away so these little fuckers can't see what my mouth is saying. Because you know what, they guess it, but they're not bad as SKT. So,
Yeah.
as he's speaking, you can tell that there's multitude of emotions hitting him as he's trying to talk about this person. You get the sense that there's a feeling of loss, of regret, of sadness, like as if to say he does not want to say this, like someone who's close that was fallen.
I think
That-
I think I can put 2 and 2 together already.
Someone who
From previous notes I've made.
he it's almost give you an idea, you know this yourself as a character, how it is whenever you speak about a family member and it's in a negative light and you don't like saying it, but you know it's the truth. Back down.
I think I know what this is about.
Bearded devil.
As he continues speaking, they're very dangerous, very powerful, very vicious. He looks around to all of you. This is to be returned. This is to be brought back to us. But for now, my father, for the first time in the hundreds of years I've known him, is actually letting this be used. And from underneath his cloak, you see him pull out
No.
a blade,
No.
the dragon hilt, and leaves it on the table. That's to be returned, but you have it to use it.
I can't remember what that is.
I know exactly what this is. That's the sword of dragon slaying.
He nods.
So let me just recap because I think I missed some of that because I was strategizing in my head about this Lotath. Who did you say was the super bad? We speculated a dragon, didn't we?
I'll talk to you in a minute about it, Alistair. I think I know what's happening.
Okay.
I think the only person that can really use a blade would be Dell.
Blade's pretty. Dell's pretty good with blades.
What type of sword is it? That's important.
It's a long sword.
I don't think I can use a long sword. It's not finesse. Can't get sneak attack on it.
I don't understand these words that you're saying, Delmar. It's just swing, swing, stab.
It's not
stab.
a weapon that's dealt for someone who would. You know this, Alistair. You, besides your cockiness, are a capable fighter. You know full well that certain warriors are more adept with weapons that rely on precision and speed rather than sheer blunt force. This, however, is not such a weapon. It's not designed for it. It's designed for cleaving, for carving. Buckley, you missed it. But Aeon Sola said that this blade is very powerful, but must be returned once you are finished with it, and he left a sword of dragon slaying on the table.
I mean, I'm okay with taking it and using it. Is there anybody else who might want to dibs? Is there anybody else who's likely to get that close that can use it?
It's probably between
I
you and
cannot.
Buckley.
But
I can't martial weapons unless
Longsword.
Seriously? I'm the only one who's proficient with longswords?
I'm proficient with them, but I can't get sneak attack with them.
Grunt's proficient with them,
True.
That's true.
and is currently using one-handed weapon, but this is a martial weapon, so there'll be negatives to it. It's not a light weapon.
Wait. Hold the phone there, Blue.
No, it's the case of it. Longswords are that way. Basically, only if a dragon slaying longsword was, say, a rapier design, which this is not.
No. What I'm thinking is, if she's got one sword that's the dragon slaying sword, the other weapon could be a finesse, and you could get the sneak attack from your actual finesse weapon and then use the dragon slaying one as an offhand, because you can use big weapons for dual wielder.
That's true. Like I said, I can wield it. Would you rather stick with your?
I mean, I can
Bow
switch
sword?
between ranged and close quarters pretty quickly, and I'll already have something special to sort of deal damage to. If we're going up against the dragon, I'm going to save it for that. So I can't. Excuse me, something I ate. I can't use both at the same time. It's one or the other. I'm going to pick them both up. I'm going to pick up both the sword on the table and mine. I'm going to start practicing some swinging combats.
Dual
No.
wielding
Like a brat.
swords.
Like a brat! Because I can't.
Do you actually pick it up?
Yeah.
When you do pick it up, he does get a little bit apprehensive just looking at you with it. Not as a oh god no, more as a like someone who's watching, as if like the equivalent of a vampire watching you pick up a cross kind of thing.
Okay. Slight fear. So me
Yeah.
swinging it around like a pillar.
Mortality.
Please do not just swing that round like crazy.
It's less of a fear and more of a realization of mortality.
But yeah, because unless that's some pure, because it's
I'm pretty
basically
sure Forge Domain do have access to some martial weapons.
to my knowledge, like basically via the
Hang on, the ball just come out.
Young Earth Arcana, it just says proficiency with heavy armor. I know, like with War Domain, you get Also, the addition of martial
yeah.
weapons.
Get martial weapons from
Yeah,
that.
you specifically gain just heavy armor from being a forged
Yeah.
domain.
So we
About
want.
tanking rather than dealing.
So we want me to use it.
I'm saying that
you-
you have the
or
option
Ron.
if you'd like to. I'm
To
just
say it
saying
as
if
well,
I've got
out
it.
out of character to say it as an idea, and it's the last. This is the only idea I'm going to be giving. You guys are going to have to start rolling on your own. But Grun's currently using a one-handed weapon and a shield.
Mm,
Entirely possible for her to swap that out for a dragon sling longsword.
I think
she's not here,
She's
and
not
I don't
here,
know.
but I mean, maybe we can just say for now that she's using it. Because the thing to remember as well is that because it is not finesse, I would have to use my strength to hit, which is a negative. So it's unlikely I'll hit with it.
Yeah, you watch as
Fair
Delmar
point.
tries to lift it up, and there's that moment of trying to lift it with one hand, and then having to go with the two.
That's a fair point.
I know how to use it, but just not efficiently. Give it to Grunt.
I mean, let's just say, mechanically speaking, out of character, that if we got a level up in the meantime, I've got another fruit that I can take which could utilize it,
Shut up.
but I probably wouldn't want to give it back afterwards. I'd be like, now hear me out. I know you're not going to understand any of the words that I'm saying here, Aeon Soul, but I spent something called a feat, and I can't really take that back. So I'm going to kind of want to hold on to this.
Was it an orc foot? What?
And he's going to be like, what?
Was it an orc foot? What?
I know
don't
you
get
collect
this.
heads and teeth, but like feet? What?
Yeah.
Are you trying to build an abomination? What's the matter with you? The matter with you?
Let's give it
You
to
have an
Grunt for the time
abomination. It's
being.
called Grunt.
So you'll say for now that you've given it to Grunt,
Yes.
Yeah, for the time being.
and when a better idea arises, if one does arise, you guys will.
Yeah.
Zion looks to all of you, and he does have a grim, like any sort of joviality has been lost to him. He's starting to look a bit rimmed by just the discussion and the topic itself. All right. So, you know what you need to do, what has to be done, and if you go against this tune, don't forget, check out with Scylla first.
Okay.
Probably going to be your best bet, because Arc Druids,
Yeah.
they're a scary bunch.
Scylla's Forest was west?
Old Fortune. It's west of Distune.
Yes, west of Diston, I thought it was. Okay. Okay, we have a heading.
Cool. Let's
Jonathan.
make a move. Who wants these potions?
Summon the steeds. After
Actually,
we've
I'm
divvied up
going
the potions.
and
because
gone to
that's
the
an-
shop.
We have some potions here, but Buckley still... We know what we're doing. Buckley, go to the shop and procure the rest of... Another round of drinks, please, while we wait for
I
that to
just
happen.
give Alistair a big pat on the back. Just, it's
We
okay.
are
It's okay.
the
You just go to
heroes
sleep.
Fine,
of
then I'm the smallest.
land.
I'm really annoyed that I'm the smallest. Makes no
And
sense.
so looks at you all. All right.
I thought you were going to say, and loses hope.
Me as a DM loses hope. Him as a character, not so much. Do what you have to do. Good luck. And as he's walking away, he turns back for a moment at like a half stance. And don't forget, if you do go to Distune, there's an entire slave economy out of it. Enough chains get broken, enough people get riled up, and suddenly half the city turns on itself.
Good
We
to
did
know.
have that thought.
Which doesn't mean, Buckley, that you can cast heat metal at will.
So what you're saying is that I should cast knock liberally.
Not at first, no.
Not when we're trying to stealth in.
Yeah. I
You guys
think
are
the
all
stealth
stealthing in, and every now and again you just hear a.
Yeah, you might have to get naked before we go in there, Buckley.
What?
He pulls himself up and strides out into the city and seems to be going off to have a conversation, probably with the mayor regent for the time.
Okay, Buckley. Potions, and we'll be at the cart.
Oh,
I'm going to prep John and Mugmug and Althea on the plan.
I'm actually
I'm gonna
going
go
to.
with Buckley to get potions as well.
I'm going to actually go after Aeonsul by myself.
Okay, he's about 30 feet past the pub, stepping down the way. It's very easy to spot him, as he tends not to be small. He does stay at a ridiculously tall figure for himself.
Dragons.
Yeah, likes to be imposing. A bit of a complex, probably. So he's just walking, and you move up. Are you trying to be quiet?
No, I want to actually go talk to him. I'm not trying to stealth.
No, okay.
Sneak attack.
And assassinate. No, definitely not. Hey, can I just...
He stops and looks down towards you, pulling himself over, fully looking at you.
6 foot. Why is everyone taller than me?
Look at my
He's
world.
8 foot, and his dad's 10. No, his dad's 11 foot
Hey.
11. I remember that specifically.
Anyway, hey, I've been meaning to ask either you or possibly your dad, but the time never sort of. There was never a good time because there was always something else happening.
His arms are crossed, looking down at you, not out of a annoyance, but more of a intent listening.
So, on the subject of those dragon orbs. God damn it. I'm trying to pick my words really carefully. So, obviously we know there's one in Distone. I'm guessing you know about the one that we got back. I'm guessing that you both probably know where it is.
No.
Really?
Those things, unless we physically see it and we have it in front of us, and even then we don't like being near it,
Right.
it's blocked from us. We couldn't scry on one of those. They're literally designed to be how to destroy a dragon.
Right, okay, that is highly surprising to me. Though it,
Why?
well, it explains why neither of you ever said anything. Because it just sort of, because I had it. Because
Okay.
that was how the situation happened in the fight. I was the one who was holding it. The fight ended, and I was still holding it when we left, so I just stored it safely.
Yeah.
I just stored it safely, and I thought it was weird that no one mentioned anything, so I just figured you guys were okay with it. It didn't occur to me that neither of you could see it.
No. Even if we did see it physically. We'd be aware of its presence if we were close enough to it, because being near it for us is actually exhausting.
Right.
It's in this form it's less so, but in the true form even leaving one of those in my father's room would actually probably at this point kill him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair, the way things are currently. So, I guess in a way it's a good thing that it's not in his room and elsewhere. But yeah, it just sort
Where
of...
is it?
It's... I sort of like look around and make sure that there's nobody listening. Make a perception check if I need to.
Go ahead.
Mouth it.
16.
Plus 10. No, you don't. You look around, there's people doing about their busy work for the day, but no one seems to be paying any mind to you, and Ansel is the kind of person people give a wide breath to, so no one's really getting close enough for an earshot kind of thing.
Grunt's picking his nose.
Her nose.
Her nose. It's stored in what I refer to as our safe place. There is a cache buried underneath the anvil next to our guild
Oh
hall.
yeah.
Oh, so that's where that is. Oh, good to know.
Because generally it's hard to lift an anvil and it's hard to dig through concrete. unless you
So
specifically
you
know
have
it's
Oh, yeah, we
Grunt
did put concrete in
lift
there.
it, don't you? You have
Hmm.
Grunt lift it, don't you?
We have Grunt lift the anvil, and we
makes
have
sense.
Buckley try and help remove the concrete.
Buckley's gonna be real pissed if someone comes for that dragon orb. Someone has destroyed my forge! And they gain
Yeah,
access to one of
Holy
the most
hand of
powerful weapons in
God.
the world. But they destroyed my forge!
but yeah, like I said, there hasn't really been an opportune time to address that, and after the whole attack, I mean, it was very apparent looking at the forge that the forge had not been disturbed, so... because, you know, it was an anvil. But yeah, I just kind of figured that you guys knew it was there and you were fine with it being there because it's like impossible to get anything past you guys, but apparently it is, so that's news.
Yeah, those orbs are dangerous for us. Scrying on our part is impossible in an area near those things. So it's an easy way for us to find out where it is, because if we scry on a spot and we physically can't, we know why.
Fair enough.
But I don't have the ability to scry. Father does, but
Well,
he's not able to do much lately.
I didn't mean anything by it. I guess I think
Oh no,
I
no.
think curiosity just kind of got the better of me. I wanted to have a look at it, and I did for quite a while, but I literally couldn't learn anything. I was just trying to learn about it, especially when I was informed that there were probably more. And
There
yeah,
are.
and because I put it in that place, it's not the easiest to get to, so it's just sort of stayed there, out of sight, out of mind. I mean, like literally two
having-
people know it's there. Well, 3 people now.
Now, I'm having Yanero come to this area to help me here because, well, kind of a one-man army. Have him coming here, and I'm currently building up a bit of a network where I have eyes and ears, and why I have you people with the Sending Stone. And to a considerable cost, a while back had Merrick make a few sets of those. So
Then
I kind of need to... Can't rely on my father's near omnipresent nonsense anymore. Considering he decides he doesn't want to, or decides he prefers to stay at home. Action needs to be taken. So, thank you for telling me. I'll be sure to avoid your forge.
yeah, though it may be worth sending someone like Yanero to check on it occasionally, especially when we're out of town.
That's why I'm referring to my network.
Cool. But yeah, so it might be worth checking on that while we're away because it's been a while.
When I can next send a missive to Marok, I'll have him keep an eye on it. Maybe have one of the girls look at it for me.
Sure.
But yeah,
Is there anything else?
it's basically we get back, my forge is destroyed, and
Say
it's basically Holy Hand of God. Whoever.
This person who's in Distown.
My mother.
Yeah, I had guessed. I know it's hard to say, but we need to know when we're going to be fighting things like that.
That's why I'm saying it. That's why I'm giving you...
How did it happen? I thought metallic dragons, they were...
So did I. So did my father. Whatever reason, my mother had a change of heart. She one day realized we shouldn't be working for mortals. Mortals should be working for us. There's no reason we shouldn't be above them. A very chromatic mentality.
Yeah.
A very scary mentality.
When I first heard the rumours about the carriage and the ice, I started reading up on white dragons, and yeah, it then occurred to me to read up on silver dragons, and the more I read and the more I heard, it just started to add up.
At this point, you see his form kind of shimmer slightly, and where there were scales of gold or designs of that, you can see now it's almost pox-marked with silver. My father doesn't talk about her.
I know.
And I lied.
I know.
He doesn't know I brought that longsword.
Oh,
That's why the longsword has to come back to me.
that's fair.
Because he's in a state where he doesn't know much. He's almost adult. Like all the years that he spent chasing away his age have kind of caught up to him at once. He's trying to readjust himself. It's like how I now trying to adjust myself because I hear things that aren't here now. I can focus my senses, and it's in a mile, and it's not someone trying to be quiet. I can hear them. That's why this morning was a bit difficult for me when I was discussing with Alistair, because the entire town's waking up and I have to mute. Not easy. How my father stayed sane in Duskhaven amazes me.
But, Aeon, if we're in that town and things escalate...
Use the orb on her.
Really?
Really.
And that sword, can you live with that?
We'll find out. I'm not doing this lightly. Believe me, I'm not doing this lightly. My father hasn't sent you back there because of this. Because he knew. But... And he's looking to you, and he's looking to everyone around you, and for a moment, puts out a claw, and he just tips you on the forehead.
There!
And as he does, everything else fades. It's just you and him in a shadowed area. Whilst it's almost like being in a cavern that is glittering with gold and silver, like streams, like mined raw ore all down along the sides. It's just you and him for that moment. I didn't say this because I only found out recently myself, and I'm trying to adjust. My father knew a lot more than he's willing to let on. My father's a fool. He likes not telling people how dangerous things are because he thinks it's a great challenge. He wants to see mortals rise up against any odds, which is stupid. That's how you get people killed. This isn't a great adventure. He's trying to make you the greatest heroes by throwing the world at you and seeing if you'll survive it. Listen. Lototh, leader of that city, you remember his guards were bearded devils?
I do.
He's a Cambion.
That's good to know.
Called it.
He is a devil. And somehow they're orchestrated to be above demons right now and been able to summon them. Whatever's going on, they have a means of providing the resources to summon them in, to bring them in. My father wanted you to find this out yourself, but I'm not going to get you all killed for this.
That's
So listen to me,
appreciated.
Tamara. Lototh is the linchpin. My mother rules, but he's the one who handles everything. He dies. If he dies and that orb gets taken away, you gut that city for a few months until they find someone who's able to fit in. They have been getting reinforcements and a lot of positive encouragement from the north. So be expecting of that. Very expecting of that. I was speaking to one or two people who were watching. I say speaking, I was listening to the conversations about the Blackguard you were fighting. That kind of stuff probably going to be becoming more current. Be ready for that. If not his own type, things like him.
Right.
You're walking into dangerous territory here. And if I could offer you the world to use against them, I would. But... And he looks for a moment with a great, sadness, but a grim thought to himself. I can't give you everything, because if you die, they get everything. That is a very harsh mentality, but it's one I need.
It's
I'm not
That's true.
currently taking care of 2 towns. I'm not currently taking care of a few adventurers. I'm trying to fight a war. You're my best soldiers, but you're soldiers. You're not acceptable losses, but you could become losses, and I have to be.
But if we do
So
become
listen.
losses, what about the sword? What happens then?
That's why I said I'm taking this under sincere and distinct consideration and great contemplation. This is not something I'm doing lightly. I trust you guys. You somehow managed to pull everything out. That's why I want to prepare you with as much information as I can. That's only if you fight her.
Mhm.
You encounter her. If she does not like revealing her form. She never did. You liked how mortals looked. You liked how beautiful some mortals could be, but hated how some are hideous. Be very careful of very pale, beautiful women. That's the kind of form she'll take.
Okay.
I'll know when you've done it. My father will know when you've done it, but he's got enough going on right now where he won't be able to comprehend it for a while. But once you get that orb, even if she's still there, even if she's about to go for your throat, use the sending stone. Let me know. I'll come as soon as I can. I have to stay here because I don't want anything else they send out to, well, ransack the city. And whilst you guys can definitely do your own bit, we're essentially on a small hill with plains on all sides. It's going to be obvious anything tries to sneak up on us, and I'll have acres to burn them in. At this point, he takes the claw away. It retracts into the nail of his finger, and you back. Don't worry, it didn't leave a mark. Amara, good luck.
Thanks.
Is
We'll
there
be
anything
okay.
else?
I've got experience of not dying.
Yes, you do, to a degree which some people find stubborn. I find admirable. Good luck.
Oh, I definitely call it stubbornness. I'll see you later.
And he turns to leave.
And I walk back to the cart.
Meanwhile, while all this was going on, these 2 fuckheads.
Howdy.
3 fuckheads.
Well, me and Buckley are out shopping, so.
Shopping!
I imagine
Come
Alistair
back.
somewhat with you. No, Alistair was going to get the car ready.
Part.
Mhm.
Yeah. So he's getting the car ready with Jonathan Mugmug and here. So in the meantime, you 2 go into the shops.
I'm going to go to Burke's first.
Okay. Loyal patron. You
This is door-
step in. Yeah, the door has the open sign on it. It's still shaking as if you're just a few seconds or few minutes even. It's only just been opened. Ding, 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 ding. Little bell at the top.
Oh, that's. I like.
And you hear from a back room, "Be out in a minute." And there we go. Yeah, he comes
If you're not
in.
fully clothed, that's all right. I mean,
He
take your time.
comes in, taking off, like having a line of rope and just leaving it down. Ah, Buckley, my boy.
Right.
What can I do for you this morning?
Well, sir, do you happen to have any healing potions of any sort?
Wait, check. And he gets out a logbook. Gets the tiny glasses.
Is it like tiny glasses? Like basically, they don't fit on his face at all.
No, they fit. His
Oh.
nose is wide. His nose is wide enough and big enough that they sit up onto it. And it gets caught in a bit of skin, so it stays there. All right. Give me a few minutes to find them. Let's check there. And he puts everything away. Goes to the back room again. There's a lot of movement inside. Movement, opening of crates, and
Well, I'm just
takes
gonna
about 4 or 5 minutes.
with the.
I know I have some. Just hang on a sec. Just hang on a sec. Like he's gone behind the counter and back into a back room. Are you just floating?
Yeah, just floating like on a visible chair kind of thing. Just sitting.
Bear in
like,
mind, you do burn the hours you have on those, and they do run out, and they take a while to recharge.
Yeah.
Like
No.
you regain an hour every day you don't walk or you don't fly.
I think I'm still at like 2 hours left on them. That's why I'm not actually afraid to do that.
So it's about 5 minutes if you want to do it in the air. So make note of it. He eventually comes out. All right, I have a few things, and he takes a small, it's a small wooden crate with hay that's been stashed into it. The potions are sat in onto it. Okay, right. So here, normal potions. I've got a few normal healing potions. I have this here as well, and it's just a potion that looks like it's it almost looks like it's liquefied iron. This not meant to taste well,
Right.
but if you want it to be essentially metal for an hour, I think you can drink this. He leaves it down. And this one, yeah, this is just a greater healing potion. It's just a better one, but it's not all I've got. Need you to turn around. Turn around, and you see, and as you're turning, he leans down, and you just hear like something unlock. Lock again, and a small little chest, about maybe 6 inches, 6 by 4 inches, kind of big. This fine, like ivory kind of design over it, the golden lace. He opens it up, and there's a large potion in there, like fist size, with a nail floating around on the inside, and it's got this dark red color. This is going to be more expensive than all of those together.
Right.
But if you want to be able to flip a building,
I think he does.
this doesn't last for very long, but it's still powerful. Listen, this is not going to be cheap. Even giving you my cheapest prices, this might come to the potions all in themselves. These are a lot. This potion makes it so that arrows and normal attacks don't really hurt you as much. Sword and spear points to the iron one. But this potion alone there's going to be 2,000 gold. That's its selling price. 1,500 for you, with a 1,500 for everything else here as well. 3,000 total. That's my starting offer.
So I'm gonna do this real quick sending to Alistair. Hey, I can get a bunch of potions, one that can make me flip a building. Advice. Cost 3,000. Altogether.
Alistair, you can send one reply to him. I do believe he's listening to someone, so we might have to give him a minute.
Yeah. Mom.
I think his mom just walked back past with fire in her hand.
What?
What?
She walked by.
I didn't know he was.
very
I
shiny in
didn't
her
know he
hand.
was raised by you.
Honey? Is everything okay?
Hello.
Everything
Yep.
okay, hon?
Were you muted that whole time?
Mom's
Oh.
doing stuff in my room.
So to explain it to you then, what's currently on the table from Berg, who's spent a lot of time tearing apart his shop for every potion he has. There are, how many normal healing potions did I say?
I've
Did I give
forgotten
a
now.
number? Say 4 normal,
Yeah, 4.
2 greater, a flask of iron skin, which when drank gives you resistance to bludgeon, piercing, and slashing damage for an hour. Oh, sorry, 10 minutes. And a potion of Fire Giant Strength. 3,000 total. Buckley has sent a sending message to you going, hey, I can get this really powerful stuff, but 3,000. Advice?
That would come out of the funds that we were going to use to fortify the town, wouldn't it?
I think Aeon still said that they were gonna use a bit of his dad's money to help with that.
You're sitting on unending income with daddy's money.
Probably not the strength potion if that's the more expensive one.
That's the price of everything else. Like the same price. It's 15,000 for it.
It's
This
quite
is his
steep for
only
such a temporary
potion.
effect.
Lasts an hour, and you get 25 strength.
It's nice and everything, but I don't know if we found something like that, or if we had considerably more, like more. Well, I don't know if we're going to be using the dragon sword. It might be helpful, I suppose, to guarantee that hit.
Give it to Delmara, it'd be hilarious.
Actually, yeah, that'd solve your problem.
It certainly would.
Cromwell
Yeah,
comes up, she gives him a fucking sidekick and goes flying into a wall.
Roundhouse
Like-
kick.
Go on, then I'll give the go ahead on that.
Okay. Buckley, after a sending message which probably took way too long, you got the reply of, yeah, sure.
Okay, Burke.
Well, that's my starting price. We can start haggling.
Yeah, of course.
My fellow tradesman.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
Mustachioed tradesman.
Just because you would remember, Nero, and I do have a gem the size of a fist in the bag of holding.
I also have a bunch of gems within my person.
This thing
Yeah.
was worth 500 gold pieces alone.
Is it
Everything that I have is worth 500 gold
Wait,
pieces
wait,
alone.
is that a
5,000.
gem or a
5,000.
diamond? Because if it's a diamond, we might want to hang on to it.
It's called a
that's
garnet.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was the big ass garnet.
I
remember.
cannot remember where we got it from, but I have it.
Probably from
I think-
Dragon Horde.
If not from the Dragon Horde, I think you got that from maybe the sewer. Yeah, no, I remember this because you talked about it last session. The sewers of the city.
Yeah.
When you went through and you fought all the orcs and the armored ogres and Blackjaw and all these lads.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it from that long ago? Wow, I
Yeah.
didn't realise we carried it for that long. We have a lot of
Well,
shit.
Burke,
A lot of parties
how much
accumulate
do you
stuff.
think this gem is? I'll pull one of the gems out of the shopping bag of holding.
He reaches underneath the desk and takes out an magnifying glass, looks at it. Ooh. How about 400 maybe? Or something like that? Beauty.
No, man. I'd say 5 on that. I mean, we
You need to
got.
remember I have to sell this as well, mister. I have to make that
True.
cost. Unless I expect to get a way better investment off of it, you never buy it standard. You know that,
True.
man. However,
Uh,
you had maybe, if you can hand me the equivalent for this stuff in diamonds and gold and rubies and you know me, I like the shiny shit.
Give me 1 second here. See, I got to fabricate now. Actually, I mean, I
Would
could
you
fabricate.
use fabricate? Would you use it? Because that's temporary.
No, fabricate is permanent.
I always thought fabricate would be permanent only on, like, say, structures and such, but when it came to small, mediocre shit, it would eventually dissipate.
No, if
I mean, what level is
basically
it?
Fourth?
4th,
Well, then, in that case, yeah. It would stay.
you convert raw material into products of the same material.
Okay, yeah. It's something else I'm thinking about that. Only lasts a certain
What you're
amount.
thinking, what you're thinking of is my 5th level one, which is creation, because I basically
Thank
take
you.
Shadowfell and make
Yeah.
something, and then it lasts only for a certain time, depending on what it is.
Yeah, okay. So, no, sorry. Got it now. I've got it.
Yeah, so basically I could go, well, if that's too small for you, I could take a few more of these gems, fabricate it, make it even bigger. Probably
Well,
more.
what you need to remember is, do you know how many people would come looking for it if I had a gem the size of my head in this place?
I mean,
And remember how much it'll be annoying to cut a gem of that size.
of course.
So, smaller gems of very good value, I can start talking. He does a really weird, like, too long eyebrow wiggle.
I mean, I have more of these gems, and
Alistair, basically. He looks like Alistair.
So he looks like a complete knob.
Hey!
Only briefly.
And yes, I'm using your language now.
well, Bark, is there any?
What?
Is there any frequent customer, or well, not frequent customer, good customer, discounts or anything?
Nope!
Damn. All right.
You know, my first thing in the morning, you honestly think, now don't get me wrong, this is going to be more than I earn in a while if you make a purchase with me on these. If you can pay upfront right now in gold, I'll reduce the price. That's gold, because I can work with gold. Gems have to resell. Gems, I'll take at the value. Or maybe cheaper. Or more expensive, even.
Well, okay. So, might have to take the fire giant strength off the table.
Bring it down to 1,500 total.
He's only going to want 400 per gem.
He's going to want... If you're going down, he's going to want 100 and... He's going to want an additional gem on top of it. He's going to want whatever the price would be and another gem's worth of value on it, because he has to sell it off at a higher rate. So it's not going to be... If you were to pay in gold, it'd be 1,500 gold. But the gems are a bit of a different value because he has to work it. Do you get me?
Yeah,
He has to
400.
have more of a value to get a better trade out of it for himself later.
So basically, be about 4 gem at 400 gold each.
He'd probably even go for 5. He'd go for an additional value on it again because it's a lot.
Yeah. So basically, 4 gem, boom, that pays for it.
Okay, so you're marking off 4 gems that are worth 500 each. So is that? Oh, ooh, lovely. Ooh, yeah. I can get stuff done with those. Nice. And the greater healings, the iron flask, and the potions of healing.
Yep.
There you go, my man. And he puts in a little container for you, and then goes back to locking away the other one. I take it that's off the cards. You've no interest in it.
Yeah.
Fair enough, man. To be fair, I only showed it to you because of who you are, so I don't give that thing up freely. Is that all, man? Or what else do you need?
I guess you wouldn't have come into contact with any magical trinkets of any sort, have you?
No. I don't deal with magic trinkets at all. To be honest, the fact I have the potions is just by bartering, haggling, and entirely legal collection of them for myself.
Uh-huh.
Entirely legal.
Entirely legal.
So, yeah. Nah. There was another lad, a big lad, came through yesterday, was doing a lot of trade with expensive and fine equipment. You guys were talking to him a bit, weren't you?
Yeah. I think I did.
Yeah, he's basically the only guy that's kind of doing magical gear ourselves, because, well, just like if I had a gem the size of my head, if I had a very valuable artifact on my wall, someone's going to come in and steal it. or break my head in to take it.
Very true.
So, unfortunately, I don't have anything else. You've entirely cleared me out of potions. I have to order some.
Should we send a
Right.
forwarding address for him?
You're not here.
I know.
So, is that all, man?
Yeah. Yeah, I believe that would be everything.
Alright, bud. Thank you very much for your patronage as always. If you ever need anything, please come back to my shop.
Have a good one, sir.
And you too, Buckley. And your dragon friend that said absolutely nothing this entire time, who's just been staring at me from the doorway.
Oh, hey, Shimmer. To be honest, I didn't even know he was there.
I literally walked here with you.
Did
We
you?
had a
I was
conversation.
literally right next to you the entire time, and nobody said, "Hi, Shimmer. Would you like something?"
What's my mother's name?
I don't think anybody knows anybody's mother's name.
I do.
I don't know my
You're
mother's
the
name.
DM.
I didn't have a mother. Anyway. Well, no. My parents got rid of me. That's what it was. Yeah.
Right.
They went, here, you go to the monastery. Get out of here. Anyway.
And besides,
I
the fact that he
have
only
no
had-
mother.
the fact that he only had like 4 healing potions, I was like, "Nah, I need to see if I can do better than that."
Well, 6, 2 greater.
Cool. So now we need to divvy up potions.
Yep.
So, do you all meet back up?
Well, actually, was there any other like shops open down in the marketplace at all, or?
No, the marketplace tends to open up a little bit later. Usually opens up an
Yeah.
hour or two after the proper shops open up. And to be fair, but just some people are glad to see you. There's others that are nervous at the fact that they've seen what you're capable of. Like shaking hands with a man you know could break it kind of scenario. So
Huh.
a few people aren't open yet as you pass.
What? We're gentle types.
Yeah, I know, right? No,
Knowing the fact
Completely
that Shimmer
mostly
nearly killed
harmless.
several of them.
I mean, that's it's kind of beside the point, but
To be fair, I almost killed part of my own party too, so it kind of balances out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you
what
know.
I mean. That's what I mean. Like, kinda killed
That's why people are looking at you funny.
It's where I killed someone. No, you tried to. Oh yeah.
all right, Shimmer, let's go. I'll pick him up and fly over to the car.
Okay. And off you
Just get a
fly to the
piggyback
cart.
ride.
Well, it's quicker than walking through town.
Mhm.
Much less dignified though.
Don't care.
So, do you all eventually begin meeting up back at the cart?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Alistair, you've been discussing with the terrible trio as to your events. Have you guys decided who is controlling which character?
In combat, I think.
Yeah, in combat.
I was taking.
If you guys want
John-
to, you can try to roleplay them as well, but
No,
See, I have no
I'll
idea
leave
how
role
to-
playing of my guys to you. You've been doing
Yeah.
a good job of them so far.
Yeah.
okay.
But yeah,
Uh,
while in combat, I was taking the note.
You were taking Jonathan, weren't you?
Well, actually, I think Nerwin should probably go with Othea because they have similar sort of spells and roles as like primary healers.
Champion Paladin runs around healing everyone all day.
Basically.
Pretty much.
Hashtag your lifeline when you're level 2.
Jonathan is a druid, so either Shimmer or Dell, I think. Although Dell's probably got a lot of stuff to work with at the moment with all the weapons that she's got, so
Why can't
Shimmer,
I
do you wanna-
hold all these knives?
That's why you have a bandolier.
Ah!
I mean, I can take
Oh yeah,
control
you have
of
a
Mugmug.
returning mandolier now.
Yeah, I do.
Yep.
It looks sick.
I can take control of Mugmug because I've got experience using barbarians.
Barbarian.
Barbarian.
Okay, so you guys are preparing to set out, yeah?
I think so.
Let's do this.
I'll
As
pull
you're all
out
preparing
all of
to set out, I do believe you guys decided on Jonathan using the wolves to pull the fucking cart husky style.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pull out my.
And they're
Good.
essentially white or grey wolf sized, but they're desert wolves.
Arabian
for the
wolves.
sake. Arabian wolves, thank you. For the
Yeah.
sense of aesthetic as well as that. But these will not be combat as they're all latched to the fucking cart.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's fine.
Well, that's how they work.
Mush.
As you're all setting off from the entrance, you can see Aeon Sil hand out waving goodbye.
We're gonna
And
go slay a
I'm-
dragon.
I'm just sitting in one of the cages.
Alistair, there's something I need to tell you about that.
He looks to you, Alistair, with a bit of a grimace. Good luck. Come back.
And give a solid bow.
I'm just sitting in one of the
And
cages.
as you do the subtle bow, there is next to him now appearing almost like a shadow, Yanero.
Oh, of course.
God, he's so cool.
He is. So, I was just thinking. I was like, God, he's so. I love hobgoblins.
I'm gonna give a fuck, man. When you get, I want to play one just because I want to make Yanero. I want to use him.
I recommend
both,
Eldritch
both
Knife.
Del and Alistair watching him going, God, he's cool.
Slightly ignoring the conversation you previously had. So, moving
I
on.
start restringing my bow and talking to it.
I'm sitting in one of the.
What are you asking your bow?
Because I do forget from time to time that it is somewhat sent.
It is entirely sentient.
Yeah.
There's a soul in there.
By somewhat, I mean, 'tis.
You think
Tyrant.
Oh yeah, this is somewhat sentient. He goes, excuse you.
I'm totally sentient.
I mean, I don't really know. What do you ask a bow? What do you speak to? I mean, do you have any insight on what we're trying? Can you see what we're trying to do? I don't
I see through
understand.
your
I don't know how this works.
I see
Sorry, what?
through your eyes.
Just look.
Do you
Wide-eyed, wait, what?
Nice.
No.
Okay.
I
tend
have
to
special
tune
eyes.
you out at night. You snore.
I told you you snore.
You heard none of this, Delmara.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Not sure who she was
Liz,
talking
however,
to. Not sure who she was talking to. I don't snore.
Okay, you look a little strung out.
I'd say he looks a bit highly strung.
I'm going to pull out my G-string joke in a minute, but I'm going to leave it for the time being.
you have the ruler.
I don't have access to fucking anything.
Yeah.
No props, no nothing.
No, all I've got is a screwdriver that's a torch, and the torch doesn't work. I feel like it's a metaphor for my life.
All it does is screw you and there's nothing bright about it. Just like you.
Aww.
Love you, Betty.
Although now apparently my mum is getting into the Christmas mood.
You poor
Oh, for God's sake.
Already,
We've not had Halloween!
you're Chris.
You've
your
not had
mother is one of
Halloween.
those people.
That's Inside Out.
Yeah, it is.
Buffy bits on your side. You have it on this side. You fuckboy.
Fuck Christmas.
Not even here yet.
I
And as
know.
you guys begin your, we're gonna take a break.
Cool.
Okay.
Break
We'll
time.
be back in about 5 or 10 minutes.
So that. We're back.
Ta-da!
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We had a little bit of a talking there to make sure everyone could comprehend. I'm sorry, but I just got that perfect. It was literally as you hit it, and I am satisfied with that. If I didn't look the cash up. So, you are all beginning to venture out. Alistair is currently marking down any details he remembers from the town on any parchments, and the cart is an open back because the cages weren't designed to fit in the cart. They are larger than the cart, and they're actually like with little bolts built down into it, actually chained and bolted into the cart itself.
So we're going to
There's
need to
just enough
remove.
space for. It's a wide enough cart for these cages. These cages are not meant to be comfortable to be sat in. They're cramped, but the space for someone to walk between the set of 3 on each side and put someone in there. So you could move and put someone in there and lock it.
I feel like we should get rid of them.
Don't really know how these are going to help.
Yeah, I think clear out the cages. Spend a bit of time and clear them out.
It's not difficult as you're going. You can just kick them off the back.
I was about to say, like, would I be able to use fabricate to break them down and reconstruct them into something else?
Raw
But-
iron could be useful.
Yes, good
What
point.
would you like to? Well, a lot of iron.
I'd like to construct them into maybe some benches.
How about a statue of me?
I don't think we really need to carry a statue with us.
No, leave it here.
In the middle of a field.
In the middle of the road, as you guys are going down the road, as you said, you've not gone any other way.
Put an arrow. No, I got it. A statue of an arrow saying this way to New Grove, pointing a different way.
Made out of solid iron.
Iron.
Boom! In fact, no. An arrow pointing directly to New Grove. It's so overt that it's covert.
What?
I think a lot of people know where New Grove is.
Yeah, I know that.
It's on a slight hill. It's a bit obvious.
Yeah,
You'll go around it.
because if I'm
We
working
can,
with
we
metal,
can see it from here.
Alright, fine. A big middle finger pointing at Distown. How's that?
Excellent. I can agree with that.
Can we point at that town?
Would you like to do this, Buckley?
I don't know what he's capable of with fabricate. I'm just throwing ideas at him.
Sure.
Now, you were going to be smart and be like, I can make benches and beds at the back of this thing for them, but nope, they want a middle finger.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Density
basically I'll
and the
just write.
quality of this will be based on how many of these cages you would
Crude
like to
as fuck.
use.
I'll use all 6 because I don't think we're really going to need cages.
Okay, use all 6 cages, and it does take time. You do have to stop to do this because you have to
Yeah,
stay
yeah.
in the same spot to do this.
I'll go and
But
hunt
you
some
begin to
game.
you begin fabricating, and as you are, it takes a while. But because it's not like say solid except for the actual like bases and the tops, they're not solid pieces. They're just thin bars. You don't get as much, but you can definitely get a very good wireframe. It looks like a kind of a like late 2000s kind of arts design that's outside of a university, but it's a middle finger
I
of
can
bent
picture
and
it
sharp
perfectly.
steel. Just
I demand-
all
I
wrapped
demand a
with
roll
a
for
middle
this.
finger with the thumb pointed out and aimed towards the stone.
Demand a roll for this to see how good it is.
I'll give him a 1 with advantage.
Smithing tools.
This is our equivalent of leaving a shit on the bed.
Sure.
Yeah.
A middle finger statue in the middle of the road.
Could we armor
You
the...
guys have never
thing.
seen. Well, it's far too late for this design
Wow.
for anything, but that's a middle finger. Nails and all done into the design.
I stand there as the model.
It's a very thin, lithe finger, like very lithe hand, which helps for the actual design, so you don't have to use as much. You can get more detail in it then. Everything down to you even got like the kind of skin wrinkles in nails and around that area. You use
Lithe as
the
fuck.
points at the nails. If this wasn't a middle finger, this would be an art piece.
It is an art piece, how dare you!
I have to say,
20 on
my
that.
greatest creation, done out of spite because of you guys. I mean, God, my God.
You burnt the 4th
we
level
just
spell
start
slot.
Art,
clapping.
Dad?
We just start clapping and wipe away a tear, just like, it's so beautiful.
Now, is there any
Alistair-
wood, like trees?
Alistair, you hear your bow just like shout out, "Turn around! I need to see it."
Is there any wood
Are you
or
doing
anything?
that out of spite? Wow, you actually did a good job on it. Huh. Well, dude. You're looking for wood?
Yeah, so I can
Cart
actually
is
make
wood.
some. I don't want to use the cart. I was maybe looking for like some trees because I was gonna
No,
make some.
it's
And this is
wide
when we
open
have to
plain
ride into this
for
town
miles
on a
around.
giant wireframe middle finger with a wooden saddle.
You can attach wheels to it.
This is when we've taken things too far.
No, what you guys have to do is it has to be like a finger pointing forward, and it's a battering ram on wheels, and you just ram it into the door.
Buckley casts fabricate hand.
Basically, it's fabricated hand.
Isn't that what we use the Nasdo for?
Oh god, I've got ideas now. You guys are terrible. Gonna
D&D
be awesome.
antics. We're trying to save the world. Make an
I think
enormous middle
there's a
finger statue.
Big bees like that.
So you guys continue on. Unfortunately, Buckley, there aren't much materials for wood around, as it's wide open plains all around you.
Right.
But it
Stone?
doesn't take long, and you do get it done. But it does cost a 4th level spell slot.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, I mean, I was gonna make some benches for us to sit on, but now we're just gonna.
Better.
This is fine.
Maybe actually close the back off a bit. Make it a nice grub kind of thing. Truck, basically where you can open it and close it. That way we're not falling out the back. For whatever reason. But whatever. Anyway.
So, you guys continue on. Is there any discussion you'd like to have amongst yourselves?
I do sort of, as we're just sort of sitting in the back while he sits chilling on the journey, I just sort of, hey, guys, there's a few things that I think we all need to know heading into here.
What's that?
Well, I suppose the lighter news is that if you couldn't guess from the fact that his guards were devils, the sort of mayor fellow is probably some sort of devil demon called a Cambion.
I figured it'd probably be a devil.
So that's good. That's
Would I know?
Make a religion check, as you would have to
Ooh.
study them to combat them. And I'll say whoever has control of Othir may also make a religion check.
Oh, hey, cool, awesome.
also Naren.
Can I just roll with advantage because I'm so amazing at religion?
No.
It's fine, I rolled pretty good.
He's got no bonus to it.
Ah, son of a bitch.
You and Othir both begin discussing to each other about the ideas of it. Cambions are oftentimes they're born to human mothers, and they eventually, over time, warp into a Cambion. No matter how good nurtured or well developed or caring the mother would be, eventually it will always become evil, spiteful, and hate its fellow man. It's oftentimes been where a Cambion would rise up into a town, causing a riot from the inside that it's lived in its entire life just to spite it. They are intelligent, charismatic, and dangerous as a result. They're not soldiers. They're not the military. They're the go kill that for me, guys.
So
Hey,
it makes
the
sense.
mercenaries.
Makes sense. This one is in a seat of power.
And probably absolutely
Absolutely. What?
absolutely loving it. They are the negative sides of their human traits are very heavily emphasized. The sides of pleasure, greed, wrath. They are the negative You'll often see them gorging themselves on wine or food if they get the chance. They're probably willing to go into debaucherous things for pleasure. They're all round not good. Are irredeemable. Once they fully become a Cambion, which only is just a matter of time from childhood, that's it. Longer human.
Other than that, I don't know if there's anything that we do need to discuss.
There is one more thing.
What?
I'm going to do a quick
what else?
perception check around the car just to see that we're not going to be ambushed.
Yeah, I was presuming you'd be doing that yourself. Go ahead.
Eh.
And we're immediately ambushed.
Yeah. You see, the ambush.
Well, my passive perception of 25.
Apparently, I only have a 10.
Nope.
Yeah, mine's displaying
Ni-
as 10.
neither of
but
you.
Mine is displaying as
Neither
10,
of
but
you
I know
see
it's
anything.
25.
Are we all
Is one
rolling or
passive-
just them?
No, just him because he requested it.
Cool.
Roger.
But I was registering as well your passive perception score. Neither of you see anything.
Okay.
It's wide open plains all around you, pretty low to the ground, kind of shrubbery and dry grass. If something was hiding from you, you would have to be very good at hiding. But you see fun. You see fields.
I see Phil.
Fields of
Of green.
green.
They're mostly dry brown.
But yeah, there's something else that I think we all need to know. I'm sure you guys have guessed, due to the presence of the dragon slaying sword, we will inevitably end up facing a dragon within Distone.
Wait, there's a dragon in Distone?
Yes, Buckley, there is.
I'm asleep for the conversation, so I'm sorry.
You were there when he gave us the dragon sword.
He only woke up when you gave him the dragon sword.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah. So,
Wait, we have
This-
a dragon slaying sword?
keep up, man,
Yeah.
keep up.
I'm hoping it goes better than the. Well, I wouldn't say better. I think we did all right with the green dragon fight, but it was pretty harrowing.
Yeah, well, I feel this one is going to be worse. Because, well,
Most likely then.
when we went to Distone last time, I heard rumours about a mysterious figure going around town and a story of a person being frozen. And so when we returned back to Duskhaven, I did some research into white dragons and silver dragons. And, well, unfortunately, my fears were confirmed, and I believe that the dragon that is occupying this town is a silver dragon who has, for unknown reasons, decided that they would much rather be ruling people with an iron fist rather than say how Creodub is.
Calgaron.
Yes, sorry, do that all the time. But the bad news is that this silver dragon is Aeon Sul's mother.
Alright.
And, of course, that means Galgaron's mate.
That complicates things.
It does.
I thought she killed in this.
That's
I
what
do remember hearing that story.
that's what we were originally led to believe, but it seems that is possibly a cover-up for the fact that she has defected, I guess.
Huh.
Yes. Tower. Trust.
It is somewhat unusual. Dragons of a metallic nature do naturally tend to want to help people.
Nope.
This is much more chromatic behaviour, which is why I initially assumed it was a white dragon, but the evidence was there, and Aeon Sul confirmed it.
Huh.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
It's going to be problematic, because silver dragons have more than just the ability to freeze people.
What else are they capable of?
You are aware of their
It's
powerless
sleep. Is it sleep or paralysis?
paralysis.
Paralysis. Yeah, they have a paralyzing breath.
Okay.
So yeah,
I'm guessing they're not going to be too overly joyed though if we go in there and put her down.
no. But
Really?
I think it's one of those greater good things. I don't
I mean,
know.
do we like-
I found hard to read, but yeah, he gave us the dragon sword. He said
Do we
if
like draw swords to see who draw straws to see who uses it?
Don't know. You heard what he said. If we can get our hands on the dragon orb, and then we can summon him in. I don't know if he intends us to use it on her. That's why this entire situation is just horrible.
I don't really know if we should use the sending stone. Then what we can do? Call him in to put her down. I mean, that seems a bit. I don't think you
know.
can recover from that kind of mental torture.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's brutal. That's my thought exactly.
I mean, to be fair, he might want to do it himself.
He might do, but I think that'll mess him up.
I mean,
I
to be honest, he's already kind of messed up.
Surely the last memory that he's got of his mother should not be of her corrupted and
It's-
well, whatever's happened to her.
Like, it's not
Yeah.
like he doesn't know. Both of them, him and Galgrond, are both lying to the world and themselves that she's dead. When
but
she's not.
still.
How long has she been there? Years?
Uh-huh.
Orchestrating these attacks?
She's probably dead to them, but
They're probably dead to her.
I know, but I think
how
physically seeing it, that's going to mess you up.
That is gonna be brutal.
Plus, if we bring him here and he can't do it, we could be looking at 2 dragons on our hand.
Yeah. Well, he did say to only summon him if we had the dragon orb obtained. But at that point, if we've managed to get our hands on the dragon orb, we may not need him. We may have to do the deed ourselves. And I said to him,
I'd
could he live
rather
with?
do it ourselves.
I said to him, could he live with that? And he only
I've
really
been
gave me
wondering
a
about
vague
that
answer.
dragon orb. Would it be possible to reverse the effects
Effects of what? We don't know what's happened.
of the dragon orb? I mean, to empower a dragon.
I mean,
So, what?
I tried to examine one when I was in possession of it, and I couldn't really gather anything from it.
I mean, that's
Might be
not
worth
too
looking
surprising.
into later.
I mean, I get it. I'm not very arcane in nature.
I suppose technically anything's possible, but it's just a case of how.
I don't know.
Yeah, fair
I think it's something you could probably do if you had time to examine it and research it. But time
Yeah.
is something we are lacking.
Fair enough.
I mean, from what it sounds like, these dragon orbs can essentially incapacitate a dragon, but provided that we don't go over the top, it won't actually kill them. Maybe that's all we need to do.
Maybe we could detain her.
Yeah, that's what they apparently did, if I remember the story correctly. The so-called story of how they killed her, which obviously they didn't. I think the story was that she was downed by an orb, and they attempted to restrain her and then kill her.
Maybe then. What if we managed to detain her and put her under Silas protection? I mean, there's a big enough space for her.
There is, but
We
it's like,
technically cleared out a space, and who better to look after her if we can somehow manage to lock her with a dragon orb?
I don't know if they'd be happy with that though.
They probably wouldn't be, no,
Just
but I mean,
keeping her locked up as a prisoner, is that any better?
It's an option.
locked up until we may be able to do something. We don't know whether she's turned or whether she's been corrupted. I mean, if they're using shackles of domination. Who knows what else they could be using on a much larger scale.
I mean, that's entirely possible.
Without
Alistair
getting
and Delmara, I would like intelligence checks from both of you.
I'm pretty freaking smart.
Actually,
man,
straight
no,
Are
man.
either of you proficient in history?
No.
No.
Okay, straight
I
intelligence check.
specifically have knowledge pertaining to dragons because I've researched it, but just general history, no.
I'll actually say, because both of you are notorious in your own way in regards to this and your own experience, I'll say you both have advantage on this check.
I'm just going to do an intelligence saving throw because that's the. Oh no, wait, there is intelligence.
Yeah,
Never
you
mind.
just click
There's
on
an
the word
intelligence check.
intelligence.
Clicking the wrong thing.
17!
Okay, Alistair, it's on the tip of your tongue. You're trying to remember something. Trying to remember some sort of effect because you mentioned corruption. It's almost like something like you remember something, or it's like having a discussion with someone to get an answer to a different idea, problem you had in your head. But Delmara, as he says corruption, you remember Slarlak the dragon had been corrupted in the shadow
He
energy.
was.
Oh yeah. Oh shit.
And they said that there could be influence from the north here. That could be what we're looking at.
Fucking
Maybe
hate
she
the
has
North.
been corrupted. If she has, maybe there's a way to fix it. Maybe she doesn't have to die. She could go back to her family.
Maybe. It's a
Possible.
potential.
I mean, the way that the situation was described, it seemed like this Cambium fellow was managing everything, but she was the one fully in charge. But how far back does the hierarchy go?
So I mean, technically, we could be looking at a new game plan here. If we can get in, release enough slaves to cause a revolt, maybe take out Lotath, this
Yeah.
Cambion dude.
That will cause a major disruption if he goes out of action. The
Get
key-
our hands somehow on the Dragon Orb,
We definitely
detain
need that.
detain her with it, and then we'll have to talk to Sylar about this. But I don't think.
First.
Sorry?
Probably have to go to him first.
Yeah,
what
we're
he-
going to go. We're going to
going
him
to him
first.
now.
But I mean, if we talk to him about it, because I think if we
Yeah.
send a message to Aeon Saw, he will just come in and he'll probably just say just get it over with and done with. Because I don't know if he's necessarily in a good place at the moment. There's a lot of stress on him to kind of keep
He's
as many
not. He
lives.
barely has enough strength to leave his tower.
Mm,
Yeah,
Doesn't
go
need this as well.
You're referring to Galgaron compared to Aeon Sol.
yeah, I mean, Aeon Saw is probably under a lot of stress at
Yeah.
the moment, and he'd probably just say, just end it. But
That was
I
the
reckon-
that
I
was the
reckon-
impression I got from him when I spoke to him.
I reckon there's potentially a way to save her.
There is
If that's the
potential, and
case.
if there's anybody who knows anything about removing corruption, aside from possibly a high priest, it's gonna be an archdruid, surely.
You would have thought so.
Curious, yeah.
And at the very least, we can imprison her for maybe longer than our lifetimes, but there could be a potential way in the future to do something about it.
The key thing is we have to get that orb. We're not going to be able. I don't think we're going to be able to do anything about her.
No.
As you're traveling, Alistair, give me another perception.
I want to see American idiots. I don't know why, but I left advantage on. It's fine.
Oh, yes, you actually have to roll.
What?
Nope.
Nope.
You keeping your eye out, you're watching out into everything around you. And you don't see anything, you don't hear anything. It's just a matter of, for yourself, there's this feeling in the back of, while you're having this conversation, it's like someone's behind you the entire time, but there isn't anyone. You know there's no one. You even get to the stage where you look under the cart, and there isn't anything around you. There isn't anyone watching you.
You're right, Alistair.
Actually, let's see.
I feel like we're being watched.
I want an Arcana check from Shimmer.
Thank God he said Shimmer.
Yeah, thank God for that.
Shimmer, come down to D and Whispers with me.
Oh.
I can't go down there.
You should
What?
be able to.
I can't go down there.
We have to move him.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Moved him down.
I think you're being scryed on, son.
Yep.
Because you're the only
But
one
I didn't have to
asked.
make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, but perception uses wisdom.
Yeah, but I'm proficient in perception.
So am I.
So I would get a considerably better bonus from it.
He probably could. He can easily just remove the perception from the math. If you
I suppose.
if you said make a wisdom saving throw, it might have been too obvious that we're being scryed on.
Yeah.
Because I have a passive perception of 25. I think you're being scryed on. Which is why he asked for an Arcana check.
Doesn't seem like a wise choice to scry on me, though, from a mechanical point of view. Rangers would naturally have high wisdom. I mean, I know I don't.
Yep. Hello.
Hello.
Willkommen.
Could I make a further Arcana check to decipher exactly what it was?
As you don't have an identify spell, the DC is very high, but you can make another Arcana check.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
This will not be with advantage, so only make the one roll.
I don't know how to make. Let's just
At
use
the
first one
top
then.
of it, it'll just say. Just use the first one.
Crit it.
That's
Nope,
not a crit.
That's not. Nope.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
It's outside of your. This is where you think to yourself, why did I never study? Why did I never look at identify? If you had studied, why didn't I study and learn identify?
To be fair, I'm pretty. I don't need to study.
You get off on your looks and your cooking skills.
That's literally a sorcerer's thing. I'm pretty. I don't need to study.
Yes.
Yeah, I know you did, Blue. Blue was sending messages to someone else. I looked and went, that wasn't meant to go to me.
That wasn't meant to go to you, but that's fine.
Aww.
It's the problem with trying to talk to like everybody in the middle of a session.
Yeah, I just need to check something actually, just to make sure I'm 100% on this. Quitting it. Monster manual. Nope. This one.
Do 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 do.
Just because Alice's roll was fucking high. Okay.
I rolled a 17.
But yeah,
First of all.
so we're probably gonna have to do some sort of reconnaissance or investigation when we get there, because we need to find out where this orb is being kept, and it won't be easy to get to. But we've got to get it.
Mm.
I mean, I have the ability to hit objects.
It may be under magical protection. We can certainly try.
Huh. Never mind, I thought that was higher.
Oh.
Am I about to explode?
No. About to beat the DC by 1.
Oh.
Oh,
Alistair, you're watching out and you're looking out, and earlier on you were talking and laughing with Delmar. It's like, yeah, if anything could hide in there. And you watch out, and for a moment it's like looking through individual leaves or individual pieces of grass. In that moment you see a bleach white skull, a pair of one eye beating out from it at you. The moment you lock eye with it, it darts. It's about...
The
You've only
fuck?
seen this more so because of your bow is actually aiding you. Focus with it. But this is about 100 feet, 150 feet out, and it dashes.
I jump on top of the cart and take a better look.
There is no
Okay.
top of the cart.
There's no roof on this cart. Remember, we
I
established
jump
No,
that.
but-
onto where the seats are.
You jump,
Dark
there are no
bastard.
seats.
We didn't
Well,
make
what's that at the front?
Oh no, at the front. Okay, yeah.
we
Yeah.
didn't make
Up
any
to
seats
there.
because we made a statue.
Alistair,
I'm dramatically
everyone else,
jumping
I
up.
will describe this to everyone else. You've seen nothing. Even with this in motion, none of you actually make eye contact. Damara, you look out with your 22, 25 in your perception. Only then do you begin seeing that there's actually a slight bit of movement, about 150, going further away at an alarming speed. By the time Alistair's even gotten up and onto position, it's already about 200 feet, 50 feet out.
What the hell?
Would it be some
It looks-
sort of monstrosity that I could try and recall information on?
Hmm.
Ooh.
No. It
Okay.
looks like it's something humanoid. Bipedal.
It's moving really quickly.
Oh my god. It's one of those
So
like two-legged walking lizards. The
When it
ones
gets
that like
within-
fucking sprint across
I'm
water.
gonna. Who's driving the cart anyway? Is it me or Nerwin?
I imagined
Jonathan.
it was Jonathan because he's
Jonathan with
controlling
the wolves.
dogs.
Yeah.
Alright.
When it gets
I'm
within
gonna
90
stand
feet,
up.
I'm going to hunter's mark it.
And I'm gonna try to grab the thing.
Grab what?
What?
What thing?
You
The
reach
thing.
up, and in that moment, it's still. Alistair, you just see Shimmer grab your collar at one spot. And there's almost like a sharp pain, but it's not him. It's like something else. And as you try to focus your hunter mark on it, your eyes dart forward towards it. In that moment, you can see it as it's turned its eye. It's got one yellow, the black pupil eye glaring at you. And as you do, you are thrown back. You knock Shimmer back. You fall back onto your feet. You both land on your backs as you try to hunter mark it to no avail. By the time you pull yourself back up and you look out again, it's entirely gone. It's probably 300, 400 feet out.
Jesus, the speed of that thing. What the hell was that?
What just happened?
Do I still feel something on my neck?
You felt absolutely nothing on your neck.
No, I mean the pain, the sharp pain.
It's not anything to be. It's more of an uncomfortable. It's more like your collar was digging into you, kind of
Right.
thing. Shimmer, you have a hold of it. It's almost like it's an actual physical thing, but it's also something that you're looking down at where he's got his two fingers locked. There's nothing there that you see. He just looks like he's grabbed your neck for some reason.
What is happening?
I don't know exactly what this is, but
Delmar, with your
It's kinda-
passive, now glancing, you can just see like some sort of shadowed movement on Alistair's collar.
Is it a spider? I don't like
No.
spiders.
I detected some kind of a divination coming from it. And then when you popped up, I assumed it had something to do with that, so I went and grabbed it.
Div what now?
Divination? With the seeing and the
It's a
Other
school
places,
of
you know?
magic.
Okay. Is there something on me? Can you get it off? Is it a spider? Is it a divination
I
spider?
don't know what it is.
Do you try to physically remove it?
Can I reach there? Do I feel anything?
Sure,
You look
Dak.
for a moment and you don't see anything where it is until you hear a voice. Your eyes aren't helping. Look through mine. And in that moment, your entire vision goes almost like this. Almost like it fades from this vision. You can still see everything around you. Simultaneously, you're seeing like an additional layer on top of everything. Like magic and energy is just flowing off of Shimmer. You see Shimmer. You see everyone else as they normally are. There's like golden energy radiating off of Buckley. Jonathan has this natural aura to him. Like you can almost see nature
I
itself.
see Narrowing as he is!
Yes, you do actually.
light!
Funnily enough, quite fitting.
The light of Merwin.
The beacons of Nero are lit. America calls for aid.
Oh, he can see magic. Great. So there's just going to be a big void where Delmar is standing.
Yes,
I feel like
actually.
Das has been playing a lot of Shadow of War recently. and I'm
Who
about to become Talion.
Who cares? It's
To be
freaking
fair.
awesome.
To be fair, I've been resisting it so hard. You've no idea.
I think we'd
How
all
much
be
I
okay with
resisted.
this. Never win.
I'm
So-
okay with people referring to me as manswine.
Open my windows.
But you look down and you see this like sliver, and in that moment you can't register what it is, but you click for a second, registering it's like a combination of Hunter's Mark and Hex, and it was marked on you. And you just have your hand just run across it, and you just hear as it just away, but burns off almost with your touch, or fading away.
I have a mechanical thing now where I cannot load, except by magic. This irks me.
No.
So hang on, it's disappeared and gone. Hello?
Yes, it's gone. The actual mark is gone. Everything back to normal vision. Once per day, you may for 6 seconds now look at something and be able to discern divine magic, arcane magic, natural magic, which you were able to discern between Jonathan, Buckley, and Shimmer. Bear in mind you saw what you know of Shimmer, so remember that as well. But the magic that was on you was necrotic, dark, more like an arcane twisted, but also natural.
A natural marker. Who the hell have we met that's done natural magic?
A druid.
The only one that comes to mind is Sylar, or Jonathan, but I doubt he needs to keep that much tabs on me.
Alistair,
Rod
you
is
used
a
to study
technical
one
thing.
hunter that you were very admired, but did you ever study others? Just asking out of character. I don't remember if you did or didn't. If you actually read up on multiple hunters and histories.
Read up on one hunter?
Like, remember you had your character that inspired your character to become a hunter.
Oh, no, that was the fictional comic book character.
No. In your actual backstory that you gave me before,
Yeah.
Alistair had heard the tales of a great hunter that inspired him to.
Yeah, that was
Wow.
fictional.
Yeah, he was a fictional character that inspired him to do that.
Wasn't a real IRL world character, but it was.
Oh,
a
no,
fictional-
no.
Oh.
He's asking.
sorry.
Did you study
Read
any
others. Did you ever look at anything else in regards to hunters? Okay. Make a history check with disadvantage.
Disadvantage. History.
Did I feel it burn away or no?
It's gone.
Alright.
Alistair, no. You're trying to discern anything you might know, but unfortunately not.
So something was keeping tabs on me, but why?
And Alistair, you feel like this thing that was kind of lingering over you, you weren't noticing it because so much was the hectic nature of from the Knoll fight there. But since then, you realize that it's like there was a wait since you woke up that morning, or even that night. Since then, there, but you weren't focusing on it so much. Was going around your sensory were focusing on other stuff. But in this quiet, you were realizing it. So since then, you've kind of had that wait.
I wonder if this has anything to do with you, Shimmer.
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't know.
Well, it's magical in some way. Just thought there might be a connection.
Well,
To give you a better idea, Alistair, you try to draw on your own memory. It wasn't until after the fight where you saw one figure that darted away. It's only after that you started feeling that weight.
After the Knoll fight?
Yes, one figure wasn't in the fight, but you had seen something that was at the tip of your peripheral at the night that darted away.
Yeah.
I assumed that was a Knoll. Maybe not.
Whatever it was, it looks like it might have followed us.
Did it resemble any of the withered Knolls that we fought? Or
No.
was it something different?
You're trying to draw on it. You've never seen a monster or a creature like a person that looks like this.
Something new to hunt. If we weren't
Or
on a top
you
secret
being
important
hunted.
mission right now.
Yeah, Alistair, the thing is following us? That's not good.
Well, if it was going to make a move, it would have made a move then, I would think.
But if it was allied, it would have approached us by now. If it's been
It's-
following us for, like, what, 3 days?
2 or 3 days.
Maybe. Well, it's obviously not going to make an appearance now if it's just been discovered.
Well, maybe it's just there to keep tabs on us.
I take my shirt off. Shimmer,
Okay.
can you give me a full look down? Is there any more of these things on me?
If you wish to spend the next 5 minutes looking at his lackluster pectorals, you may.
I'm in pretty good shape. I'm rather.
But you are a half elf. You're not exactly that muscular.
What's your
Well, I'm
strength?
muscular, no, but
Yeah, I'm gonna do that, and while I'm doing it, I'm be making snide comments about how he has to work out the entire time.
I have
It's more
16
like
strength.
a person who's built for performance, not built for to look good. He's built to lift stuff, but he's not built. There's difference.
I'm
There's
gonna
the
remember that one.
bodybuilder, and there's the man who comes down for the mountains that looks like you.
No,
There.
there
I'm
is.
built for performance, not to look good, ladies.
Oh boy.
Yeah, those words came out of my mouth.
Those are the words you said, Das.
That's
Yep.
going on my t-shirt.
So, Arcana
Don't
check
make me a
or
chicken
no?
with Das, he'll marry you.
You can make one, sure.
It's
Yeah, don't
true.
play
It's built
gay
for
chicken.
performance.
That's gonna be on my shirt.
Yeah, those
Good luck.
those are words that came out of my mouth.
I look clean.
No, he's clean. You don't see anything else.
Just think, McCoy from Star Trek. Just like, damn it, Jim, you need to work out more.
Okay. If I'm clean, then I'm gonna get myself dressed. I'm gonna put on my
I
special
don't
bullet
think I
armor.
did anything.
Okay. So something's following us.
Something's following you, Hunter.
Hmm. I
So
do
the
not
hunter
like.
becomes the hunted, apparently.
No.
Interesting.
No.
Oh.
I'm being
oh.
followed. I'm being tracked. I'm not being hunted.
Ooh.
Sod off.
Oh,
Why
that's
would you
Standing
track
there
something
looking
you
like
weren't
the
hunting?
new Jesus.
How may I help you, child?
It's like the Christmas episode of Food. And I'm his friend Jesus.
Oh boy.
What marks ail you, child?
After about
Yeah.
4 or
Wow.
5 more miles on the road, the road itself is not a cobblestone or anything. It's just a beaten track. You see, you can more just see the silhouette of 4 small sticks, but then you see that they're actually spears, with like a bauble or something at the top of them. But when you get closer, you see that they're 4 skulls.
Well, I was kind of hoping it'd be Christmas lights then, but
Hmm.
do they look like humanoid skulls?
Yes. All but one. One looks like almost serpentine-like, but
check to see if it's Wanty.
Is it a
it's not a
sequel?
Yon. You know what Yanti look like. It's not a Yanti design skull.
Certain.
When you get close, the skull itself actually grows and breaks off it and falls down, and it's because you've seen someone turn into one of these before. It's a Hydra skull.
Ooh, that's a pretty big skull.
Yeah.
The skull that you see next to it is an orc skull. Very heavily damaged and like broken tusk kind of thing, like some sort of like really powerful warrior probably. The next skull is an elf. The back of the skull was broken in.
Hmm.
And
Okay,
the
so-
one on the far side is a wolf skull. Does anyone read Abyssal?
Alistair does.
Alistair, fitting. On each skull, there are the letters, which you put together, reading them all out together. I come for you.
Well,
And on
Alistair,
the and
I'm sorry,
you look at the bottom of the jaw of the Hydra when you like move it out of the way. New trophies.
New trophies.
Which, yes, that basically does.
Someone giving me teeth.
Looks more like a
No.
threat.
Yeah.
Alistair, I know that you were really bitter about it, but I think you might actually be being hunted. That's slightly disquieting.
The hunter
If
apparently has
anything,
become
you
the
should
hunted.
feel happy.
Take it
that
as a
somebody-
compliment.
Yeah, if somebody thinks that you're such a threat that you are a trophy to be hunted, that's
You're
complimentary.
worthy prey.
Yeah.
You should feel good about that.
I say we leave Alistair here.
Yeah, we'll continue on.
Yeah, I'm alright with that.
I mean, we're trying to save the world here. You're kind of in our way. So sorry.
I remove the skulls from the spears and throw them to the floor.
Throw them out of the way of the cart.
Actually, no. No. I got a better idea. Which is the skull that says "come"?
Oh my.
Not a dirty thing.
The skull that says in the in Abyssal, it's not really the word for come, as in come to me. It's more of a demand to my feet sort of way. Abyssal is not a language which is spoken in converse. It's spoken in demand.
Mhm.
For example, I don't say you come here. I say get on your knees.
Mhm.
Be beneath, be submissive,
Yeah.
dominating
submit.
over.
Yeah.
So
Well,
this is very much
whichever
so
one
a-
has that adjective in it.
That's word, yeah, that
Yeah,
one.
Whichever one has that verb in it. I'm going to remove that one. And in its place, what have I got?
I take it you do this after you move the cart. You can get the cart past these, but if you want to like put them up or anything,
Yeah, just move the cart just like ever so slightly past them. Just like, wait there a second. I need to leave a message. I'm going to take out one of the bear traps from my bag of holding. Just going to mark this down. And I'm going to like clamp it down over the top of the spear so that it's set there. And then I'm going to take a little bit of blood with a little knife. And I'm going to put the word for wait in its place.
Ah.
The game is afoot. The hunt is on. And my finger's really hurting now.
I question the advisability of writing that in blood, but sure.
I mean, I literally have a
I
quill.
was
And
doing it for effect. Get on the cart.
so wait, what does the message say now then?
It says, I wait for you.
Yeah, the original message says I come for you.
okay. And it was the elf skull that you removed to specify.
Somewhat fitting.
Slightly, yeah.
Delmara,
Yeah.
with your ridiculous passive perception, I think
What's
you've
up? I'm
been
worried. What do you want? Yeah.
That was a very slightly worried, yeah?
You don't see anything, but you're keeping an eye out. But you hear not footfalls, but hooffalls. Get quieter and quieter, like they were very close, and then got very quiet and quiet. And you can swear that you saw, not see, but you could have sworn you saw some form of, how do I put this, silhouette. Like as if the air itself moved and broke.
I feel like there was something watching us, but I don't know if it was the creature that is after you.
You look down to the ground, about 5 feet away from Alistair. There were hoof prints that walked away.
Do they... I mean, this should probably be asking the ranger this. Do they resemble either minotaurs or centaurs, since we know that they...
No, minotaurs are far bulkier. Like the hoof size for a minotaur is almost the size of a person's chest. Minotaurs are even larger. And this would look like if it was a humanoid-sized creature. Medium.
Give
And
the
it was
devil his
Goat
due.
thing?
and it was very close to Alistair.
Hmm. You have an admirer.
Mm.
That's not a
Do you
good
have-
thing.
Do you have any goats that hate you?
I have an idea what it is, but I don't know what she knows.
The amount of devils that we've been dealing with, I have a feeling some cloven hoofed son of a bitch is following me.
After the last time, I just like told everybody what something was, and I'm not gonna say it anymore because that's what we met.
Would I know of any devils that are medium
With
size and
disadvantage, you can make a history check.
History.
Oh, I'm sorry, religion. Religion
Yeah.
for Buckley.
14?
Shame.
No, unfortunately not. You're thinking for something very specific. You didn't study the infernal. You didn't study the monstrous creatures, the humanoid kind of things like that. But it's really weird. The humanoid ones tend to be the smart ones, the kind of ones that point to larger things in its way for a problem. That's what kind of puts you off of this. If this is something that is, if your theory is true, if their theory of the party is true, and it is a devil or some sort of infernal creature,
Fiend.
Hmm.
and it's that willing to be this close to something like that, they're usually smart enough to never do that. It's a weird thing.
It's obviously very self-confident to get
Or
that,
incredibly stupid.
to get that close and openly challenge you.
Give you an idea, Delmara, you beat his check by 1 with your passive. That's why you're only able to hear where he is, because you definitely didn't see him.
I'm in so
Because Alistair is stood right out in the open, but you saw shimmer of something next to him move away.
Why don't
And
I
then you
have
saw
blind
hoofprints
sense
in the
yet? Damn it!
He's not
Well,
challenging
you'd have-
me, he's mocking me. Trying to stand as close as he can.
He's trying to get you irritated. So that you're not thinking clearly. We have a job to do. If this thing wants to come challenge you, maybe it should come and do it!
You're looking for creatures.
I'm not looking for creatures, that's cheap.
I'm glad you aren't. Now, sir, would you like to make a survival check at the ground next to you?
I'm gonna check that in a minute.
Look how angry he is!
He's annoyed that I've
I'm going to get to level 6 as a ranger so I get greater favoured enemy.
He's just gonna choose fiends, all of them. Fuck them.
Can I
I want 'em
fiends
all.
now follow me? Fucking yeah! I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check the ground that's pointed at me. I'll take a sample if I'm friggin' have to.
The ground next to you. Make a survival check. With advantage.
Okay, if I'm just being given it, I don't have to justify it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not with advantage.
Just roll again.
That was still really good.
18, not bad.
The reason you have advantage is because you recognize not the print, but what's left in it. It's decay. Same kind of decay that you saw all the way back on the outside of Duskhaven.
Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Damn it!
Oh,
I'm gonna
this
bring this to Althea's attention.
This is
Okay.
getting worse and worse.
Calm it down, Vegeta.
Something. Now to continue for you, the hoofprints walked as close as could be to you, without the risk of you turning and bumping into it, and then walked away. But you were so focused on making your mark, it's like it came to look and then left. But it left from the same. To give you guys an idea, you're just all walking. The fields where the first incident was on the right, and further again, it goes to and from the right.
I check my mark. Does it look like that any blood's been taken?
Well, from the demonic mark you left, no,
Hmm.
nothing's been taken.
Hmm.
Touching would have broken the invisibility.
What does it want then? Damn it. I take the bear trap back
Okay.
and put that in
Well,
the back
it
holding.
probably wants your head.
Well, yes, it would do, but why just watch? Why not attack? What does it
Maybe-
want? Clearly,
maybe
it wants to
'cause
learn something. It wants
Maybe
to
it's
follow me
smart
long
enough
enough
to
to
know that
learn
it'd be
something.
outnumbered with all of us here. Maybe it wants to irritate you and try and get you to go off on your own.
I mean, I don't know much about hunters. You know about more hunters than I do, but isn't one thing hunters like is to chase their prey?
Things that kill for sport, yeah. Hmm.
Also, maybe he's a salt devil because he's trying to raise the salt in your level.
Oh, I reach over for a high five.
Or is it an insult, devil?
Oh, a high five the
That's
ominous voice.
Revel in this while you can, children. I make a very obvious knot on my necklace with a space.
You're just making a space in it.
I take my bow off and I say, "We've got some work to do." And I mount up on the cart and I say, "We'll carry on with the task at hand. This will wait until another day."
As will this D&D campaign. As this is what we're calling for the evening.
Hey!
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I've never seen Das being able to get underneath Spook's skin so much before.
I
Oh,
revel in
this is
this.
gonna be
You
tearing
kidding
him
me?
apart.
Oh yes, it is. Because the next. Well, what happened now? They go, oh yeah, no weekends now. You want any weekends off until New Year? Yeah.
He's gonna come around mine tomorrow. He's gonna go, give me that monster manual.
Oh, you can look all you want. It's not in it.
No, it's not because it's you. It's gonna be custom. That's why there's no point looking.
I make it special.
I hate
just
magical
for you.
stuff. 'Cause I've not made Alistair a magical combatant.
Nope, you have not.
I
Specifically
have an
chosen.
idea what it's
Ooh, I can't
close
keep my
to.
mouth shut. Okay, you can message me, Shimmer, if you want to. 'Cause I'm curious. I'll just tell you right now if it isn't.
Hold on.
Well then, I suppose we'll have to.
Although
wait.
I will say, you did get a very good close look at it. Like when it's shimmered to it, you could see like it was wearing a skull, wearing a
Yeah.
skull of a creature. So I'll give you the look of this because you basically see it's one eye and everything. So only Alistair will see this, and Alistair, I'm trusting you not to link this to anyone. Only you
Yeah.
that knows this. That's the eye you saw.
Okay.
So yeah, that's where we leave it.
That's a mystery that we'll have to find out more about next time. We'll see you then, folks.
Or you might not, and it might be a few weeks until you see that, and it eats Alistair every second.
Yeah, we have no idea when the next session's going to be, so enjoy
do
that
not.
cliffhanger.
We're going to
Yeah,
hope
no
that we
idea.
can get it done next week. If we do, we'll probably tweet out an answer. So thank you all so much for watching. As always,
Bye-bye.
shop at Game Tea, because Nemo's not here to say it, because the boy's sick.
Buy Game Tea. It has good stuff, even though I've never been there.
My God.
And on that bombshell, we'll see you next time.
Good night,
Bye.
everybody.